Hello everyone, it's Keren here from tuppencecolored.co.uk. Thank you for joining me today. Today it's one of our Simply Sketched Saturdays, and this is the sketch that we've been working from this week. Now, if you want to see what we've been making and you want to have a look at the blog hop, find out more about it, then please do visit my blog. The link is underneath the video. But this is my creation for the challenge. Now, I got this idea from Tammy White, and I do urge you to go and have a look at Tammy's version. I changed it up a little bit. I added some bits and pieces, and this is going to be my brother-in-law's birthday card because he is a major Star Wars fan. He absolutely loves it. So if you know him, shh, don't tell him because I want it to be a surprise. But meanwhile, if you stick with me, I'll show you how I made the card. Got my circle framelits dies, and for the size I want, I'm going to take 1, 2, 3, 4th from the outside, and I'm going to take the very smallest one. And I've cut myself a piece of smoky slate card, which is big enough for my circle to go on. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this away to my big shot, and I'm going to die cut out my big circle, and I'm also then going to die cut out the smaller circle. And I'm going to position it just like that. So back in a couple of minutes. I've embossed that with my Tiny Triangles embossing folder. So now I want to give it a little bit more dimension, and I've got my smoky slate ink pad and a sponge dauber, and I'm just going to very lightly sponge over that, just to bring out the texture a little bit. I think that will do. That's looking nice and smudgy and smoky. I've cut myself a piece of basic grey cardstock, and it's about 3/8 of an inch. Again, it's not exact, I just cut a piece off the end that looked to be about right, and I think that's where I want it to go. So I'm just going to stick that down with a bit of snail. There's some snail. There it is. Snail is fine for this because it's not going to be it's not going to be carrying any weight, so snail works absolutely fine for that. And as you can see, it's too long, but you know what, doesn't matter because I'm turning it over and I'm just going to chop off the excess, and I'm following the curve of the circle. And now that's starting to look something like, and I've got another little scrap of basic grey. That's actually probably a bit bigger than I want, so I'll chop that down a bit, and that is going to sit behind there. And again, a snail will do fine, and I'm putting the snail onto the larger part of the element, not the small bit. And that is now starting to look quite Death Starry. I have a piece of basic black card which is 5 inches by 3.5 inches, and when Tammy made her original version, she punched out the background with, she took a basic black card and she punched out a background with the confetti stars. I'm going to vary it slightly. I've punched out a pile of stars from a piece of our foil sheet, and I'm going to use my fine tip glue pen, which I just want to get the top off. There we are. And I'm going to put some spots of glue here and there, and I'm going to apply the stars to them. And this is obviously going to take me some time, so I will see you in a little while. I finished adding my stars and they've had time to dry, and I've only added them in these two corners because I wanted it to look as though there was a band of stars running across the card, and I didn't do the middle obviously because that's where my Death Star is going to go. Now I wanted to add my sentiment, and I wanted something that was very Star Warsy, like May the Force be with you, because this is going to be a birthday card for my brother-in-law, who is a major Star Wars fan. But obviously we don't make a rubber stamp that says May the Force be with you, and I thought about maybe using the rotary stamp but wasn't 100% keen with that idea. So I came up with an idea and I thought, is this going to work? I tried it out and lo and behold it did. So what I did was I printed out the phrase I wanted, May the Force be with you, on my computer, and I got a bit of our window sheet and I've stuck it down. I just taped it over the top. And this is the bit that I didn't think was going to work, and did. This is the Signal Uniball pen that Stampin' Up sell, and I just took the pen and I just traced over the writing, just like this. Now I'm not doing this particularly neatly. The one that I actually made, I did take a bit more time with you. But as you can see, it writes on the acetate. And I thought, that is wonderful, but I bet it won't dry. And I bet the first time you touch it, the ink will fall off. But it didn't. Here's the one that I actually made. That's backwards. And I'm rubbing my finger over it and it is staying put. So I was absolutely thrilled to find out that worked. Now you're probably sitting out there saying, well, of course it works, Keren, we knew that, we've always known that, what's the matter? But I didn't know it, so I am quite excited. So I have now my my strip of acetate, which I've cut off as a thin strip, and it's too long to go all around the Death Star, but that's okay because I don't want it necessarily to lie flat. I want it to be to stand up a bit, so I'm just measuring it round the card. I'm just pinching at the corners where I want it to bend, so that the May the Force be with you. Can you see it stands up a little bit from the card? So I'm just going to adhere that with a bit of tape, just any old tape that I happen to put my hand on. A bit of tear and tape here, that will do fine. I want to make sure I've got it the right way round. Then again, doesn't really matter because the Death Star is the size of a planet. And I'm just going to stick that in place. And now that's ready to go on to the front of my card. So I'm going to assemble the card first, I think. So this is a piece of my heavy Whisper White, and I've mounted a piece of our silver foil card, which is 3 3/4 by 5 1/4, and my base, I should have said, is 4 by 5 1/2, and this now is going to sit on top. So bring in my snail. And that, oops, is going to sit on there. And it's quite hard to see in the light. It's actually easier if I look at the monitor to see where I'm putting this, because I want it to be quite centered. There we go, that's near enough. And this is going to go on with dimensionals. Oh, I kind of like it like that. Do you? Yeah, but the sketch says across the middle, so we are going to stay with the sketch. We are going to be good and not be rebels. Because that would be wrong. I just went quiet there because I just thought of Rebels and Star Wars, and Yeah, that all works. So that is now going to go into the centre of my card. And there it is. Job done. Here it is finished, and here is the original sketch that I was working from. So I think that I've pretty much interpreted that, don't you? I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. If you have, please do consider subscribing to my channel. Give me a thumbs up. Check out my blog, and if you want to know more about the Simply Sketch Saturday challenges, then that is a good place to start. But for now, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.